Audio test 1, 2, 3. Facilitator mic check 1, 2, 3. Good morning. Podium mic check 1, 2, 3. Good morning to our attendees, bureau executives, city staff, members of the public, family members who are joining us here in the board hearing room this morning. If there's any member of the public who wishes to offer commentary on any of our agenda items or general public comment, please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room. Indicate which item you'd like to speak on. Hand it to me, I'll record your information for the record and call upon you when we reach your item. Good morning as well to our attendees who are joining us on the virtual platform. I do see a couple of hands raised. I am going to ask members of the public who have their hand raised to unmute, identify yourself, and let me know which item you'd like to speak on this morning. I'll start with Audit LA.
Good morning, TJ. I would like everything, public comment and all agenda items, please.
Very
and thank
well.
you.
I have you down for public comment and multiple agenda item commentary.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute and lower your hand. I'll move next to Georgina. Good morning.
Good morning, TJ. Happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday.
I'd like to speak on all items, please, and public comment.
Very well. I have you down for public comment and multiple agenda item commentary.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute and lower your hand if there's any other member of the public who wishes to offer commentary and you've not already done so. If you're joining us in the hearing room, please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room, indicate which item you'd like to speak on, hand it to me, I'll record your information for the record, and then we'll call upon you when we reach your item. If there's any other member of the public joining us on the virtual platform who wishes to offer commentary, please raise your hand. I'll ask you to unmute, identify yourself for the record and which item you'd like to speak on. I'll record that information, then we'll call upon you when we reach your item. The time now is 9:51. We should get started with the board meeting in approximately 9 minutes. Thank you. Good morning once again to our attendees who are joining us here in the board hearing room. Good morning, members of the public, city staff, bureau executives, bureau directors, city attorney commissioners. If there are members of the public who wish to offer commentary on any of our agendized items, please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room, indicate which item you'd like to speak on, hand it to me, I'll record your information for the record, and then we'll call upon you when we reach your item. Good morning as well to our attendees on the virtual platform. If you've not already done so and you wish to offer public comments or multiple agenda item comment, please raise your hand. I'll ask you to unmute, identify yourself for the record and which item you'd like to speak on. Laura FM, good morning.
Good morning, TJ. All items, please, and general public comment. And last time when I called in, I said all items and general public comment, and I only got my 1 minute for the minutes. And I was talking about the minutes and all items. So I want 3 minutes this time.
Thank you. I have you down for public comment and multiple agenda item comment. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute and lower your hand. And I see Miriam.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry, I accidentally muted you. Sorry about that.
Good morning, TJ. I would
Good
like to have a public comment.
I have you down for public comment.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute and lower your hand. If there are any other member of the public, if there's any other member of the public who wishes to offer a commentary on any of our agendized items or general public comment, please raise your hand, identify yourself for the record, and which item you'd like to speak on. Caller ending in 880.
General public comment.
Thank you. I have you down for general public comment. And it is 9:58. We should get started with the board meeting in approximately 2 minutes. Good morning, President Kang. We are now in record mode and ready to begin the meeting.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. We're going to get started. So thank you very much for being here. Welcome to our regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works for Monday, March 23rd, 2026. Mr. Knight, please take roll and establish quorum.
Thank you, President Kang, Vice President Chavez, President Pro Tem Grant, Commissioner Mitchell, and Commissioner Cardenas are present. We do have a quorum. I'm TJ Knight. We're also joined by City Attorney Representative Thomas Costello Vega. I'm TJ Knight with the Board of Public Works. President Kang, we have 5 public commenters and 3 multiple agenda item commenters on the Zoom platform. We have no one joining us in the hearing room to offer public comment this morning, and we have no neighborhood council commentary.
Thank you very much. So before we take public comment, we have a very special presentation this morning. As many of you know, the month of March is Women's History Month, and we would love to uplift many of our wonderful individuals that make up the board as well as the Department of Public Works. So with that, I want to toss it over to my colleague, Vice President Jenny Chavez, who will be leading this presentation.
Thank you, President Kang, and good morning. Thank you all for being here today. March is Women's History Month, and here at the Board of Public Works, we didn't want to let it pass without pausing to do something that we don't always make enough time for, to look back, to recognize, and to celebrate. Today, we're going to talk about the women who built the foundation of leadership in the city. Some of their names you may know well, others have been overlooked. All of them cleared a path that those of us in this room had the privilege of walking. We'll also be recognizing some extraordinary women from right here in our department, colleagues whose dedication, skill, and service make Public Works stronger every single day. That recognition is one of the highlights of this presentation, and I'm genuinely looking forward to it. But before we get there, I want to offer a word about why this moment matters. Public Works is, at its core, about building things, infrastructure, systems, services that hold the city together. And it turns out women have been doing exactly that work in Los Angeles government for over a century. Not always with the recognition they deserved, not always with the title their contributions warranted, but they showed up, they led, they changed what the city looks like. When I look around this room, and when I look at the data showing more women entering engineering, contract administration, and leadership roles across all our bureaus, I see that history continuing, and I am proud to be a part of it. So let's take a few minutes to honor where we've been, celebrate where we are, and think about where we're headed. So with the first slide, wanted to talk about the extraordinary women, especially since we serve with the first woman elected mayor of Los Angeles in the city's history. So let's take a moment to acknowledge the extraordinary leadership along with other women leaders who brought us here. Next slide. The first woman elected to the LA City Council was Estelle Lawton Lindsay, a Socialist Party candidate who took her seat at the council in 1915. The first thing I want to do is establish the fact that a woman is capable of sitting in the councils of city, county, and state, Lindsay said. Several months after her election, when LA's mayor and council president left the city, Lindsay became the first woman acting mayor in Los Angeles history and the first woman in U.S. history to serve as the mayor of a major city. It was almost 4 decades later that Rosalind Wyman became the second woman elected to the Los Angeles City Council in 1953. Next slide. And it was not until the early 80s, nearly 70 years later, after Estelle Lawton Lindsay took her seat on the city council, that a woman was elected council president. Pat Russell, who served on the city council for nearly 2 decades following her election in 1969, was elected the first woman city council president in 1983. She served as president until 1987. Pat Russell was the fourth woman elected to City Council, and for the first 6 years of her tenure, she was the only woman member. Before her election to the City Council, Ms. Russell was president of the City and County League of Women Voters successively. Next slide. The first woman Board of Public Works Commissioner in Los Angeles was Maureen Kindle, appointed by Mayor Tom Bradley in March of 1979. She became the board's first woman president the following year. Ms. Kindle served as board president from 1980 until 1987. Following her service on the board, she worked with Nelson Mandela after his release from prison and election as president of South Africa. She also served on the Board of Regents at Loyola Marymount University and the board of the Los Angeles Olympic Organizing Committee for the 1984 Olympics, and worked on international democracy building efforts in Iraq, Afghanistan, Sudan, and 23 other countries. Our mayor, Karen Bass, is the first woman the City of Los Angeles has elected to this office. Mayor Bass has led the city since 2022, following her positions as Speaker of the State Assembly and 5-term Congresswoman in the House of Representatives. She was sworn in by the first woman Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris. Mayor Bass has prioritized compassionate action on LA's homelessness crisis, as well as affordability, jobs, and public safety. Among her accomplishments are her Inside Safe program, which has reduced street homelessness. She presided over a 19% decrease in homicides citywide. She strengthened tenant protections, approving the first update to the city's rent stabilization ordinance. She hosted the 2025 Justice Fair. And as a result of Executive Directive 1, which streamlined affordable housing approvals at the beginning of Mayor Bass's term, more than 30,000 affordable housing units are in the pipeline. Next slide. Turning to our public works family, careers in public works are among the paths women have been traditionally discouraged from taking in the U.S. However, while women remain underrepresented, we are seeing steady growth in women's share of our workforce, just as we are seeing women increasingly enter STEM careers at the national level. Over the last 10 years, the Bureau of Engineering has gone from a workforce of 31% women to 38% women. Similarly, in 2016, women accounted for less than 1/5 of the Bureau of Contract Administration's personnel. Today, they're approaching 1/3 of BCA's staff. And now it's time to recognize some of the women among our several thousand public works employees who have distinguished themselves through outstanding public service to the department and the city. I'd like to welcome our first honoree and our first presenter, Inspector of Public Works and Director of the Bureau of Contract Administration, John Reamer. And you'll say a few words about honoree Alexis White.
Absolutely. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is an honor and a privilege to be here on this glorious day to recognize the fabric of our community, quite frankly. I'm biased. I love women, and I love them for a number of reasons. First of all, I was raised by a very strong woman, my mother. And my wife, I tell people I don't do anything without her being right there by my side. Not behind me, right there with me as a partner. Where would we be without women, quite frankly? And to all of our honorees this morning, congratulations to each and every one of you. I was thinking about what do I say about Alexis? And the tendency could be, this is a strong woman. No, I don't want to go down that path because we don't refer to men as being strong men. But this is a very competent, capable, courageous, absolutely, competent member of the Bureau of Contract Administration, Department of Public Works in many ways. As I take a look and see that she was born in Los Angeles and raised by a strong family with military background. So we definitely have, to my right, a disciplined individual that understands the value of preparing oneself to engage, especially in the environment where we are, with respect to what some would refer to as a non-traditional role. But as an inspector dealing with contractors, you can't approach that without knowing what you're talking about and being able to command and communicate in a way that basically brings about results. She graduated with honors in high school and then attended the University of California, Riverside. Family person. She worked with her grandmother in her nonprofit. And so we have someone who is well-rounded, which makes the meal great because you have all the necessary ingredients. It's not just one-sided. Alexis serves as a construction inspector for the Bureau of Contract Administration. As I've shared briefly, dealing with contractors is not necessarily an easy thing because yours has to be, as I was watching the basketball game last night, not to divert too much with respect to UCLA and Connecticut, and they were talking about the two coaches and the strong personalities they both brought to the game and how the referees were going to deal with that. How Alexis deals with our contractors, making sure that they deliver, but at the same time treating them with respect and making sure that the community that she represents, they get what they should. Alexis brings that to the table. Just briefly, she's demonstrated outstanding leadership and technical expertise, dedication to public service through work on several complex projects, one of which is the HSIP 7 Crenshaw Street Improvement Project along the Crenshaw Corridor. How do I know that's an integral project? Because I drive it every day. Alexis may not know that. And I'm noticing that the traffic control and the detouring and everything that is there to keep traffic and the motorists from getting really upset over the fact that someone has interfered with their process to get home, but it looks good and it's clear and it's concise and it's navigable. And now I realize why, because of Alexis. It doesn't just happen. These things just don't happen. They happen for a reason. So I'm so pleased and honored to be here to speak to and honor Alexis. She loves to read. She loves to work on her car. She loves woodworking. This is a a multi-capable woman in many respects. Thank you very much. And so it is my honor and pleasure as the Inspector of Public Works to recognize Alexis White, Construction Inspector with the Bureau of Contract Administration, for Women's History Month in recognition of the exemplary, and I like that word because it is indeed true, work you do every day and the shining example you set as a woman breaking barriers and setting a higher standard in our industry. The Board of Public Works honors you in celebration of Women's History Month 2026. Thank you for inspiring women to break through barriers in the workplace, signed by all of the commissioners. Alexis, thank you very much for all this food. Congratulations.
Well, I'm not good at these. Okay. Well, I didn't prepare anything, but I want to say thank you for the opportunity I was given to. Oh, sorry. Thank you for the opportunity to work for Public Works. I've always been a part of the community. Like you said, my grandmother has a nonprofit, so I'm used to giving back and I enjoy it. And I'm glad I'm able to do so in this way. I believe women are the conduit of the community and we're nurturers and we help keep everything together. So I appreciate this and thank you, everyone.
All right. Our next honoree will be presented by our interim sitting engineer, Alfred Mata, who will be presenting the BOE nominee, Caroline Seymour.
Good morning. I want to thank the board for creating this opportunity to recognize all the contributions from women in the workforce, particularly here in our great Department of Public Works. I also want to congratulate all of the honorees today who represent and all of the women that work and support all the efforts in the Department of Public Works, especially Caroline Seymour, our honoree from the Bureau of Engineering. Caroline currently serves as a geographical information specialist in the Bureau of Engineering's GIS and Mapping Division, where she has dedicated over 3 years to supporting our stormwater geographical information systems mapping efforts. So for those of you that have used Navigate LA and have had the benefit of clicking on some of our nodes of our infrastructure, particularly in stormwater, one of the many people you could thank is Caroline and all her efforts to keep that information up to date, so we know where our catch basins are, where our infrastructure is, and the layout of it, so it helps us solve some of the challenges we face. Carolyn's path to the city was not straightforward. At 31, facing a crucial now or never moment, she made the daunting decision to leave her hospitality career for a GIS internship. And this leap of faith, driven by the inability to secure a permanent or lucrative position in her old field, set her on a new course. In that decade since taking that internship, Carolyn has gained diverse experience processing through various GIS roles in both the public and private sectors. Her journey has ultimately led her to her current position in Los Angeles, which is a city she deeply cherishes, both as an employee and as an urbanite. Caroline's journey to the city began with not one, but 2 stints at Cal Poly Pomona. In 2015, she earned her bachelor's degree in geography, where she first developed her passion for GIS. A few years later, in 2021, she returned to broaden and refine her expertise, completing a master's degree in urban regional planning. During her time at Cal Poly Pomona, she held the presidency of academic clubs in both majors and participated in a study abroad program spanning China and Japan. Her academic excellence was recognized with Outstanding Graduating Senior in Geography Award and the American Planning Association Outstanding Student Award in Urban Planning. Caroline is deeply proud of her academic journey and professional career, particularly her role as a GIS specialist with the City of Los Angeles Bureau of Engineering. A key aspect of her service is acting as a responder at the Emergency Operations Center when needed, which allows her to apply and expand her skills supporting the operations during city emergencies. This commitment to serving the city through the EOC, regardless of the situation, reinforced her dedication to the public sector, where she sees her work not only as a path to fulfilling a career, but as a contribution to the greater good of the people of Los Angeles. Looking back over the past decade, Ms. Seymour credits 3 major influences for bringing her to her current professional standing. First, her parents' careers in public service instilled a profound sense of duty and a strong work ethic. Second, her personal drive for continuous change and growth has been a constant motivating factor. And finally, her upbringing in Southern California cultivated a deep appreciation for the region's diverse environments and thriving cultures. The Department of Public Works and the Bureau of Engineering are fortunate to have employees like Caroline, and we are pleased to recognize her for Women's History Month. Congratulations, Caroline.
Well, I would like to say thank you very much for honoring me today. It's very special to be honored during Women's Month here for the city. I love working for the Bureau of Engineering. Every day I get to build more data out and support the city and strengthen communities through built environment. Thank you so much.
All right, our next presentation is from LA Sanitation by Assistant Director Nicole Burnson, honoring Christina Jones.
Good morning, President Kang, Vice President Chavez. It is an honor and a privilege to be here today to laud Christina Jones. Christina is an environmental engineer with LA San. She's licensed by the state of California and received her professional civil engineer, her bachelor's and master's degrees in civil engineering, specializing in building science and construction management from the University of Southern California. And she told me earlier that she went to school to build big buildings and she could not have imagined where she would end up, but where she's ended up is building a sustainable future for the city of Los Angeles. While at USC, she held various leadership roles, including president of the Viterbi Graduate Student Association and historian for the Society of Women Engineers. and also Viterbi Freshman Academy coach. With over 12 years of experience at LA San, she currently focuses on delivery of recycled water at Hyperion Reclamation Plant as part of Pure Water Los Angeles. Christina started at the Wastewater Reclamation Implementation Division, WRID, in 2020. She rapidly became the lead of one of the three division sections. She's project manager for the Hyperion 1.5 million gallon per day Advanced Water Purification System, or Hyperion AWPF, and leads its project management team. Her division manager, Hugh Cox, who's here today, along with her colleagues, Mitzi and Yoon, notes that as project manager for AWPF, she oversaw the design and construction of the project completed in record time by pioneering the first progressive design build project at Hyperion and certified by the Design Build Institute of America. This work supports the goal to maximize the reuse of treated wastewater from the Hyperion Wastewater Reclamation Plant to create a new and sustainable local water source. Which brings us to her program management of Pure Water Los Angeles, keeping her staff, the program, and her supervisor, those are his words, on track as Pure Water Los Angeles progresses. She has developed many standard operating procedures, or SOPs, to make the program run more efficiently. Her work on Pure Water Los Angeles has ensured a more transparent, equitable, and accessible outreach and engagement strategy. And this is especially important to me and my team, but she fought for greater inclusivity with the CEQA process. We know that that's an equity issue, and that was important to her. As an engineer, that was important to her. And she has also made very effective, engaging, and understandable presentations about the program, most notably in this room at the Congress of Neighborhoods, where she really, I guess, instilled in the neighborhood councils a sense of curiosity about the project to the point where they've requested tours and more information about the project. And as outreach people, that is a dream come true. Anybody who saw her hold up that bottle of clear water knows how effective that presentation was and how good her instincts are with people. As for her engagement with our stakeholders beyond Pure Water Los Angeles, Christina serves as one of LA San's storm commanders, and all of you have gotten those vital communications about things that could, during a storm, really affect our operations in a very quick way. She's also noted for her great personality, particularly her openness and her directness, her positivity, as well as for her team spirit. And according to Hugh, she is always looking to make things work. She's passionate about public service, and she volunteers to bring science and engineering to young students in Los Angeles communities. She's served on the executive board for the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers, Los Angeles, and she's been the bargaining chair of her labor union since 2018. As a lifelong resident of the city, she's grateful for the opportunity to serve its people, as she says, serve the people of this beautiful city. And it's my pleasure to be able to introduce Christina today as LA San's honoree.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for the recognition. I just wanted to say that I'm one of many people that works in this city that really enjoys their job and feels the commitment to the people that live here. But more than anything, we're only here because of the strong foundation of the women that came before us and laid the path. And I just wanted to say thank you to many of them that I will not remember all their names. And of course, my mom's one of them. And the woman who hired me, Diane Gilbert-Jones, both of them have played pivotal roles in my life for the last, I guess I've lost track of time, more than a decade now. And it's been such a joy and pleasure to be here working for the city in any capacity. But in sanitation, it's become one of the great loves of my life. So thank you very much for the recognition.
All right, since we're on a roll, our next presenter will be from Bureau of Street Lighting, led by Assistant Director Fabian Chang, honoring Leonore Batista.
Thank you. Good morning, President Kang. Good morning, Vice President Chavez and all commissioners and everybody that's here from the city family. I'm proud and honored to be here because it's a special occasion to recognize women in the Department of Public Works. Even though we're honoring a few just today, I do want to recognize all women that work in the Department of Public Works. In fact, all women that work in the city of LA, because they bring an integral part as part of the working relationship, between the teams that we put together. So I do want to mention that because it's not just us that are here in the room, but everybody really that works to strive to become better, a better city, a better department. So Leonor started her journey in the Bureau of Street Lighting in 2017 as part of the student engineering working program. Upon graduating from California State University Long Beach, she obtained two degrees in civil engineering and physics. So a very knowledgeable, very wise woman. But currently she works as a street lighting engineer associate in the Bureau of Street Lighting. She started working in the Bureau as the Bureau liaison for the Council of Districts, Mayor's Office, and community groups. She assisted community members with light repairs, glare shields, and helped districts apply for community development block grants, which funded the installation and the upgrades of street light infrastructure and improved the quality of life for community members. Leonor was selected to be part of the development team for the BSL's fiber conduit pilot project. The first of its kind team was asked to design and install fiber conduit for community connectivity pilot projects in Canoga Park, the state's 110 project, which will strengthen the city of Los Angeles infrastructure. Leonor currently works as part of the Sidewalk and Transit Amenities Program, STAP, a very important program. And as you all know, this program will provide shelters and urban panels throughout the city. She currently works with the engineering team that reviews and approves over 3,000 locations in conjunction with the Bureau of Street Services. That just shows, how well versed she is in terms of not only street lighting, but working with other sister bureaus and other departments in the city. Leonor's dedication to engineering and community have led her to participate in educational panels at Huntington Park High School, her alma mater. As a Oaxacan woman, she also invests her time volunteering with the Oaxaqueño Youth Encuentro organization to mentor students on their educational pursuits. She strives to make engineering accessible in the hopes of inspiring first-generation indigenous students to enter the field. So with that, I want to congratulate Leonor, just to say that I appreciate her willingness and work ethic that goes beyond her usual duties. She's a great communicator, great team player, and that's not to say that she has a lot of potential in her city career. So even though she has 10 years, she's well beyond the years of experience. So I do recognize that and look forward to other accomplishments in her city career.
Good morning, everyone. I just want to thank you all for taking the time to honor all the women that make the city of LA great. It has been a beautiful experience starting as a student worker, as a young engineer, to work with engineers that have supported me, encouraged me to go further in my design skills, also to see the projects I've done, to see the lighting improvements, to see the things that may seem simple in the surface, but do improve the lives of the individuals that live in Los Angeles. I would also like to take the time to thank my parents that are here today with me for all their sacrifices, for their endless support and love throughout the years. I wouldn't be the woman I am today without them. And I hope to, like Fabian said, I hope to accomplish more with the city of LA and hope to contribute more. And that's it. Thank you so much.
All right, our next presentation is from Bureau of Street Services, Assistant Director Stephanie Clements, honoring Cynthia Eritano.
Alrighty. I gotta open my phone here. Alrighty. Good morning, commissioners. Stephanie Clements, Department of Public Works, Bureau of Street Services, Assistant Director. It is my absolute honor and pleasure to be speaking today on behalf of the Bureau of Street Services for Women's History Month to recognize Cynthia Eritano, or Cindy. I'm here with Keith also, and also a lot of Cindy's staff are here. Words in this short speech cannot fully describe or encapsulate what an amazing and incredible person Cindy is, and the infinite contributions that Cindy has made to this city, this department, and this bureau. Cindy is a longtime public servant and has worked for the city of Los Angeles for many, many, many years, even though she's only 35. In fact, Cindy and I met at our very first job with the city last century. We both worked for the Community Development Department. It's so long ago that department doesn't even exist anymore. While we didn't work together directly on a day-to-day basis, we did know each other, and my impression of her was that she was kind, classy, beautiful, had great style, and seemed much more professional and put together than I was at that time. But since that time, Cindy has worn many hats in the city. Many might not know that Cindy worked for the mayor's office for many years, but she spent most of her career with the Department of Public Works. She's worked for the Bureau of Sanitation for many years and also Street Services. Cindy's currently a Senior Management Analyst 2 in our Financial Management Division at the Bureau and is a key member supporting all divisions and sections and executives. And as I always like to say, you know, even though we're not the people trimming trees and fixing sidewalks, they cannot do the work without people like Cindy and Rose, paying the bills, making sure people are getting paid, making sure budgets are in order. Cindy is currently a key member overseeing a very complicated budget and finances with dozens of special funds, dozens of budget line items and earmarks. She also oversees procurement. We procure $80 to $100 million a year of very small purchase orders to very large contracts, and it's a huge responsibility that Cindy oversees. She makes sure we stay within budget. She meets deadlines on financial assignments and ensures contracts and purchase orders are processed and paid. But she is much, much more than that. She, on a regular basis, provides high-level management support for executives and division managers. She provides us advice and consultation that is crucial to us getting the work done. Cindy is an amazing communicator, amazing communicator. I'll babble and babble and babble, and Cindy will say what I wanted to say in 6 concise words. She has a keen ability to say just the right things to get the message across, and she tailors her communication style to each manager. She knows what to say to get the message across. Cindy is also highly intelligent, analytical, and intuitive. She can hone in on the core issues and problems. But not only that, she always comes up with great solutions. She's always giving me a little clue and hey, you should focus on this, or hey, what about fixing this? So, it's not just identifying the problems, it's identifying solutions. She connects dots between numbers and real world operations. And also she has an understanding, she can get very into the weeds and the details, but she also thinks at a very, very, very high level. She may not want me to say this, but she really understands this bureau. If you ever need to know anything about this bureau, you could probably call her. She also is incredibly dedicated. She has to work at nights and weekends. When it's budget time and budget crisis, there is just no time to get the work done. And, she's always available and puts in the extra effort. Cindy is incredibly kind. She has an incredible heart, and Bureau employees really appreciate that. She's also an incredible baker. She has an incredible sourdough. What's the mom? What's it called? Mother? Starter. She's incredible sourdough starter, and she bakes for her staff. She brings in the most incredible focaccia and desserts and sourdough bread, and it's lovely. And then lastly, she really can stay calm in the storm. And I have really, really appreciated that. Sometimes I do get a little bit excited and riled up. And, an example of that was my first year as assistant director. I had never worked for the Department of Public Works. And I was in charge of getting in the annual budget on time, and it was starting to go a little haywire and numbers weren't all matching. But I really will always remember Cindy helping me out, staying calm, and we got the job done. And then also another example of this is last year, we had like most departments, we had an incredibly difficult budget year. They wanted to lay off half of admin staff. It was incredibly upsetting and stressful. And Cindy and Rose were very instrumental in coming up with alternatives and solutions, so there were no layoffs in our Bureau. So again, it's really hard to sum up in a few words what Cindy means to the Bureau and the city. She does the work of many, and she could easily be a chief management analyst, an assistant director, or even a director or a general manager if she wanted to. So on behalf of the Financial Management Division, our Bureau executives, and all Bureau employees, thank you, Cindy, personally, for all of your help in making my job easier. Thank you for your service to the department, to the Bureau, and to the city of Los Angeles. Thanks, Cindy.
Thank you. I have a little speech. Wanted to thank you so much. I am truly honored to be recognized during Women's History Month. It means a lot to be included among so many incredible women. It's a reminder of how much I've been supported along the way. I wanted to sincerely thank my supervisors, Rose and Stephanie, both incredibly strong and thoughtful leaders. Your guidance and trust have given me the space to learn, stretch, and take on challenges I might not have otherwise. I'm really grateful for that. And to my team and colleagues who are here and back at the office, thank you for the collaboration and the countless hours of problem solving together. Any impact I've had is truly shared. Women's History Month is a time to reflect on progress that has been made, but also the work that continues. I feel proud to contribute in my own way and to be part of an organization that values growth, innovation, and inclusion. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, we can't hide in the back, Keith. All right. And last and certainly not least, it is my honor and pleasure to turn it over to our board president, Steve Kang, who will introduce our final honoree, someone from right here in our board office, Natalie Valenzuela.
So good morning, all of our honored guests, our bureau directors, as well as our families, and of course, my fellow commissioners. It's great to be on this side of the room. So I have the pleasure and the honor of recognizing the Board of Public Works Women History Month nominee, our very own Natalie Valenzuela. So as all of you might recognize, Natalie is our lead executive assistant, assisting not only myself and the vice president, but all 5 members of the board, our executive officer, and our entire team here. So she first joined the board back in August of 2022. with more than 26 years of service. So she was born in Toronto to Peruvian immigrant parents and raised in Glendale by a strong mother. And she's here this morning. Thank you for being here. With excellent work ethics. And she's worked not only here with the Department of Public Works, but in multiple departments across our city, including Building and Safety, General Services, and the Harbor Department before joining the board. So in her current role, as I mentioned earlier, she is the extraordinaire, making sure that all of our special events, as well as our meetings, are on time. And I have to say to everybody in this room, I think she is, one of the most powerful women in the board because she is the gatekeeper to all 5 of us. So, including to all of our directors, if you know, she makes sure she can reject your requests as well. So, I would say she is one of the most powerful women in the board, and it is our deepest honor and pleasure of recognize you this morning as you have put in countless hours and your sweat and tears and love in making sure that all of our operation here along with our entire department goes well. And I know you coordinate with all the EAAs throughout the department. So thank you so much. And lastly, I think you're a true exemplifying the role of a public servant here at the City of Los Angeles. So with that, on behalf of the board, congratulations to our very own Natalie.
Good morning. Thank you very much, President King, Vice President Chavez, Commissioner Mitchell, Commissioner Grant, Commissioner Cardenas, Executive Officer, and of course, our City Attorney. Thank you so much for this great honor. Women's History Month, it's such a monumental moment, especially at this moment. It's so crucial to really think of all the amazing women that have come and gone and led a pathway for all of us. As President King mentioned, I am here with my family and my mom, definitely single mom. I know that a lot of my work ethics and being a mother who I am now is because of her. So I want to say thank you for demonstrating hard work, dedication, love goes so much more than just being a woman. But I wanted to put, oh, of course, my phone dies right when I'm about to say. But I just want to share with you that my journey here, I was a young mom. I'm going to go real quick, but I was a young mom, and I was actually told at an early age that I wouldn't amount to anything, that I would not go into any career. And I made it my goal to really work hard for my son, my oldest son there, Bryant. He was my drive. He was my drive to go ahead and be a demonstration of hard work. And I graduated with cap and gown, but I never stopped working. I worked hard for my kids, every single one of them. And I wanted to demonstrate that with hard work, you can go to places. Never in my lifetime did I think I would work for the city. And I'm grateful to my husband because he worked for the county and he demonstrated working for and providing service at such, for your community, for your service is an incredible feeling. And since then, from the county to the city, I've enjoyed every department that I've learned and I've grown. And coming here to the board, I've only been here 3.5 years, but I'm really grateful of all the experience that I've had and being able to work and serve for all of you. It's truly a passion. So I just want to say thank you for allowing this time and saying thank you and being able to say that you see me. So I really appreciate that. And thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you. So with that, we'll take a brief recess to take photos out in the courtyard. So if all of Oh, my apologies. My apologies. My apologies. I got to the chase. Thank you. I'll hand it back to Vice President Chavez.
President Kane, we appreciate your goal for efficiency. But we're going to just take another moment because it's been quite an extraordinary morning. Hearing these stories, the dedication, the resilience, the quiet excellence that each of these women brings to this department every single day. That's exactly why we do this. Earlier, we talked about women who were first, the first on the council, the first acting mayor, first board president, first elected mayor. Each of them walked into rooms that weren't built for them and changed what those rooms look like forever. The women we honor today are part of that same tradition. They may not all have firsts attached to their titles, but they show up, they lead, and they make this department and this city better. And that's not a small thing. That's the work. So to our honorees, thank you, not just for what you do, but how you do it, with professionalism, with heart, and with a standard of excellence that inspires everyone around you. We hope today is a small reflection of the appreciation that this department has for you. And to every woman in Public Works who isn't in this room right now, working in the field, running a crew, managing a project, answering a call, we see you too. So before we close, I'd like to invite my fellow commissioners to share their remarks with us. And maybe we'll start with Commissioner Mitchell, if you'd like to hand us off.
The record should reflect that this boardroom is stacked to capacity as we honor women's contributions to the Department of Public Works. I want to thank each of you and congratulate you, not only you, but also your families, your coworkers. There's two families, I say. You got your work family, a lot of whom are here, and you have your family. And so we thank and congratulate you on this recognition. The former Vice President Kamala Harris said on Women's International Day, she quoted her mother. And she said this a number of times during her tenure as Vice President. She said, "You may not be the first," her mother saying to her, "but make sure you're not the last." And even if none of you are the first, or some of you are the first in your respective positions, let's follow the advice of a wise woman from the past. Thank you so much for your dedication in public service to the city of Los Angeles. We see you, we respect you, and we know there's more to come. Thanks.
Pro Tem Grant.
Thank you. When International Women's Month and Day was being formed, there was a slogan that was bandied about that's always caught my attention, and that's that women hold up half the sky. And what we see today is that not only do you hold up half the sky, you build half of LA. And to that, I think we've seen in a variety of ways the different aspects of which this city is stitched together, held together, and made a better community. And there's another aspect I think that I heard as each honoree is that the culture of the city, that we're a family, that we work together, in fact, is strengthened by your work and your efforts, both on the job and outside the job. And for that, I think we're all tremendously impressed and proud of the work that you do. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Cardenas.
Just wanted to add a few words, but what I've seen today is the city is in a very, very good place. All of you honorees today, all of you women are just one example of all of the women that you work with, that have worked with, and most importantly, the women that will be following you and using you as an example of what can be. So congratulations to all of you. Congratulations to your parents. Felicidades a todos los padres que están aquí. que están aquí con sus hijas y hijos. Just wanted to say a little bit in Spanish for the Spanish-speaking community as well. So congratulations, and this has been a wonderful, wonderful celebration for Women's History Month.
President Kang, you want to?
Thank you. And I really want to commend Vice President Chavez for leading today's ceremony, and to all of our families and friends and our entire department for showing up for this important milestone. And then also recognize our other amazing women leader in the board, Commissioner Faith Mitchell, for always being there for all of us. So with that, we'll take a brief recess and take photos outside in the courtyard. The time now is 10:52 a.m.
I can do it. Yeah, I can do it. Just holding your, yeah, because I know. Yeah. No, let's do them because the lighting's terrible. No, let me come over here. Let me come over here. Lighting. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, thanks.
Thank you so
All right,
much.
we're gonna go out to the courtyard.
One more for my mom.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Salió un peloncito detrás de usted.
And we are back into record mode and ready to resume the meeting.
Thank you very much. We will get started with general public comment, which is an opportunity for the public to address the board on public interest items, and will be provided up to 1 minute per person, up to a cumulative total of 10 minutes for the general public comment segment of each regular meeting. Testimony shall be limited in content to subject matters which are within the jurisdiction of the Board of Public Works. The board may not take any action on any matters discussed during the public comment period. We do not have any in-person speakers, so we'll transition to our virtual platform.
Thank you, President Kang. I'll quickly reestablish quorum. We have President Kang, Vice President Chavez, President Pro Tem Grant, Commissioner Mitchell, and Commissioner Cardenas present. We are also joined by City Attorney Representative Thomas Castella Vega. I'm TJ Knight with the Board of Public Works, and we'll go ahead and start with public comment on the virtual platform, and we'll begin with Audit LA.
Good morning. I just want to continue talking about the Film LA permits. They're being prolific in their recruitment videos on TV. Probably see them all. And I just want to remind you, you have a part in that, okay? Because the buck falls with you. And, you know, I would love you to watch the Aftermath Foundation, you know, the old Aftermath shows, and just hear all the different victims' videos. And we've come and told you so much about the victimizations, and they are trying to recruit more people. They're now expanding their recruitment tactics to children again, you know, okay? And this is, you know, it's a human trafficking, slave labor. I allege this, and why are they not suing any of us or any of these victims coming forward, okay, for what they have to say? You have to realize that. Please look into the human trafficking. Please look into the slave labor, the no pay, and them doing this. Don't be a part of them recruiting more people into this hell. With that, I yield my time. Thank you.
And we'll move next to Georgina.
Hi, thank you, board. Yeah, I want to know why you're allowing them to do things outside of the bounds of legality, such as IDing citizens walking down a public sidewalk when they have an event that doesn't even include the public sidewalk. Citizens are freely allowed to walk down public sidewalks. So why are they being allowed to monitor and control who's allowed to walk down the street? And also, why is it that we have a street named after a cult leader? Why are they allowed to patrol city streets with their security, following people and harassing people for just walking down the street? The whole neighborhood thinks that's a private street because of such actions. That street needs to be opened up for parking, and the name needs to get changed. Thank you so much. I yield back my time.
And we'll move next to Laura F.M. Anderson. Second call for Laura F.M. I think she is no longer in the room. And we'll move next to Miriam.
Good morning.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you. L. Ron Hubbard was a convicted criminal. The city of Los Angeles should not honor convicted criminals with public street names. That sets a dangerous and inconsistent precedent. We don't name streets after figures like Harvey Weinstein or O.J. Simpson, despite their historical notoriety. Public spaces are meant to reflect community values, not glorify individuals with criminal records. Keeping this name signals selective enforcement and preferential treatment. Renaming it back to North Berendo Street restores neutrality, consistency, and public trust. There is no valid justification for maintaining a street name that honors a convicted criminal. Rename it. Thank you.
And we'll move next to caller ending in 880.
Firstly, congratulations to the women that got honored today. I think you should have spent a little bit money on them and taken them out to lunch as opposed to doing this little presentation you just did. Secondly, the name L. Ron Hubbard Way needs to be changed back to North Berendo Street. We don't have Bill Gothard Way. We don't have the Branch Davidian Way. It's unbelievable. And the fact that they were checking people on a public street, checking their papers, like that was done in Nazi Germany, to make sure that people were carrying their papers or wearing their yellow star on their uniform or their clothing. It's like letting the cult of Scientology act like SS and Gestapo. It's absolutely outrageous. Unbelievable. Bye.
And I'll make one more call for Laura FM. Laura FM, if you're in the room, this is your time to offer public comment. And that concludes the public commenters who had previously identified that they wish to offer public comment. I do see an additional hand raised on the.
Yes, please.
Eric Noreen, I see your hand is raised. Would you like to offer public comment this morning?
Eric Noreen, SEIU 721, Executive Board Member. I would like to thank the board for recognizing the women of the workforce of Public Works. I would also like to remind the Board of Public Works that women will be disproportionately adversely impacted by your return to office proposal. I ask again and again to withdraw your proposal and to initiate meet and confer to actually prepare a telecommuting plan that can work for labor and management. I yield my time.
Thank you. That concludes public commentary this morning, President King.
Thank you very much. With that, we will close general public comment portion of today's meeting and move forward with multiple agenda item public comment. The board will provide an opportunity for members of the public wishing to speak on more than one agenda item during multiple agenda item comment period for up to a minute per item, up to a total of 3 minutes per meeting. This is the only time to speak on more than one agenda item, and please identify the items that you'll speak on when you are called. We do not have any in-person speakers, so we'll transition to a virtual platform.
Thank you, President Kang. And we'll start with Audit LA. Please identify which item you are speaking on. You have up to 3 minutes to offer your multiple agenda item commentary. And I don't see Audit LA unmuting. We can go ahead and move to Georgina.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, I want to start with the minutes. I don't understand why it's been so complicated to get just a simple date added to the title of your YouTube channel videos. Every video has the exact same title going back a few years. They're all titled exactly the same. That's thousands of videos, all with the exact same title. How is that researchable? You need to include it in the minutes, the comments that are said during public comment. The fact that these things that we're reporting to you aren't being reflected in the minutes is a crime. It really needs to be changed. I yield back my time. Thank you.
And I'll make I'll make a call for Laura FM. Laura FM, this is your multiple agenda item comment period time. And I'll make another call for Audit LA. Audit LA, you should be receiving a pop-up asking you to unmute. Last call for Audit LA. And that concludes multiple agenda item commentary this morning, President King.
Thank you very much. With that, we will close the multiple item public comment portion of today's meeting and move forward with the approval of minutes for Wednesday, March 11, 2026. Commissioners, any questions or comments? Seeing none, is there a first and a second?
So move.
Second.
First by President Pro Tem Grant, seconded by Commissioner Cardenas.
Thank you, President King. We'll take a roll call vote on approval of minutes, starting with you, President King.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. And Commissioner Cardenas.
Aye.
All ayes, and this item is approved unanimous.
Thank you very much. Moving to agenda item number 1 from the Bureau of Engineering, revised budget and issue change order number 7.
Okay, greetings, Board President, Commissioners. My name is Andrew S. Forrest, Senior Civil Engineer in the Bureau of Engineering Bridge Improvement Division. The purpose of this report is to request the authority to authorize $71,827 in additional contingency and issue change order number 7 to Jill Kevy Construction Incorporated for the Bridge Repair Maintenance Group 1 project. The scope of the project is to perform structural repairs at 4 separate bridge locations. The locations are Riverside Drive over the 134 freeway, the Los Feliz Bridge over the I-5 freeway, the Side Hill Bridge over Sunswept Drive, and the Grand Avenue Bridge between 2nd Place and 4th Street. The structural repairs include but are not limited to spall and crack repair, bridge railing repairs, soot removal, and expansion joint replacement. The project was awarded to Joel Heavy Construction Incorporated on April 30th, 2025 for a total construction budget of $569,800, which includes contingency. The bids were solicited from the Emergency Geotechnical and Structural On-Call Contractors list. So locations number 1 and 2 were span over the 134 freeway and the I-5 freeway, which are technically Caltrans state right-of-way. In order to complete the necessary repairs for the barriers, a Caltrans encroachment permit was required. Prior to bid and award, the BOE project team applied for a Caltrans encroachment permit. And during the permit application process, Caltrans staff advised and confirmed that the proposed barrier repairs could be completed over live traffic with the implementation of a debris catchment system, which is basically a suspended platform. The proposed system would need to be reviewed and approved by Caltrans prior to implementation by the contractor. The permit was issued with this condition, and BOE included this requirement in the bid documents. Once the project commenced, Joel Heavy Construction submitted a debris catchment system submittal to Caltrans in accordance with the conditions on the encroachment permit for their review and approval. Unfortunately, Caltrans permit staff deviated from their original requirement and rejected the use of this debris catchment system. BOE attempted to escalate the issue with Caltrans management, but were unsuccessful. Caltrans now requires that freeway lane closures be implemented due to safety concerns. As a result of this determination, the contractor must now provide freeway traffic control plans and nightly lane closures to complete the necessary repairs. This was an unforeseen condition and it resulted in significant additional costs to the contractor. Change order number 7 provides compensation to the contractor for the additional costs associated with implementing freeway traffic control and lane closures at location number 1, which is the Riverside Drive over 134 freeway, including all construction zone enhanced enforcement program and all California Highway Patrol personnel lane closure fees. After negotiation with JOLC, BOE came to a final agreed amount of $71,827 for this change order. The revised total construction budget will be $641,627. The total revised contingency represents 19% of the total construction budget. The project is funded by the CTIP Bridge Maintenance Program Fund 59C, which has ample funds to cover this request. The work is anticipated to be completed the first week of April. And to clarify, locations 2, 3, and 4 have already been completed, so this will be the final location to be completed for the project. This concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments related to item number 1? All right, seeing none, is there a first and a second?
So moved.
Second.
First by Commissioner Cardenas, seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Thank you, President King. We'll take a roll call vote on approval of item 1, starting with you, President King.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. And Commissioner Cardenas.
Aye.
All ayes, and item 1 is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving to item number 2, RFQ, Information and Control Systems Programs.
Good morning. Good morning, President Kang, Vice President Chavez, and Commissioners. My name is Jennifer Ann Haronka. As a woman in STEM, working amongst other amazing women in STEM, I wanted to say congratulations to all those honored today. And I also wanted to thank all the groundbreakers, the trailblazers, and those that made that path even wider. With that, I want to thank you for allowing me to present my item. On behalf of the Bureau of Sanitation, Information and Control Systems Division, we kindly request that your approval for the upcoming RFQ, Request for Qualifications, for on-call technical and analytical services. The RFQ will establish a bench of up to 15 qualified consulting firms to provide specialized on-call support for sanitation's technology, automation, and data systems. The contract will have a 6-year base term with 2 optional 3-year extensions and a total cost ceiling of $50 million. Work will be issued through competitive task order solicitations, each with a defined scope, schedule, and budget. Given the scale and complexity of sanitation's operations, including solids resources, clean water, watershed protection, these services provide critical expertise in areas such as control systems, data analytics, and infrastructure support. The procurement process is expected to begin with a mandatory pre-submittal meeting in April, proposals due in May, and up to 1 year for contract negotiations and board approval. In summary, the RFQ ensures that sanitation can efficiently access specialized expertise, maintain operational continuity, and promote competition through a structured task order process. That concludes my briefing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions related to the RFQ item number 2? All right, seeing none, is there a first and a second?
So move.
First by President Pro Tem Grant, seconded by Commissioner Mitchell.
Thank you, President Kang. We'll take a roll call vote on approval of item 2, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant. Commissioner Mitchell.
Aye.
And Commissioner Cardenas.
Aye.
All ayes, and item 2 is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 3, Work Area Traffic Control Handbook, 2024 edition.
Hello, good morning, Commissioner. My name is Danny Tang. I'm a civil engineer in Bureau of Engineering. Today, I'll present to you the Watch Book, which is in front of you here. So the acronym for it is the Work Area Traffic Control Handbooks. The first edition of the Watch Book developed by the committee by multiple departments, Los Angeles Police Department, Water and Power, Department of Transportation, and the Bureau of Engineering. It was published in the city of Los Angeles in the late 1940s. The subsequently turned publication of Watch over to the American Public Works Association, which is APWA. The Watch committee is made up of consultant traffic engineers from city and county within of Southern California and University of California Institution of Transportation Study. The city representative coordinate with other bureau and department by requesting input and assistance as the committee is revising and updating this Watch Book. The new edition of this Watch Book is published every 3 years. The summary of the changes incorporated in the 2024 editions of the Watch is included in this report. It's recommended the board to adopt the 2024 editions of this Watch to comply with the section 61.06 of the municipal code that state all work involved city property or right of way shall be performed according with the latest editions of the manual entitled Watch adopted by the board. Let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you very much. I know we discussed this, but it would be great for everybody just remind me why we're now seeing the 2024 edition versus 2025.
So this Watch Book has been working with multiple departments in our city. Is with us as Bureau of Engineering and the Contract Administration, the Street Light and Bureau of Street Services. Is because of this COVID that happened, and then it got delayed a little bit. But we're just able to secure the signature from all the 4 departments, and we finally come to the final of the 2024.
Thank you. And then also, there's no virtual version of this. A digital version, right?
Right now, we don't, but I can also request for a PDF copy of it. Right now, our Bureau of Engineering, we order around like 530 of these Watch Book to pass out, and each of the 4 departments will order their own Watch Book manual. But I'll get back to you on the PDF files on this.
Any other, Commissioner Cardenas?
Question, you mentioned that this is put out every 3 years?
Yes, this usually code book usually update every 3 years.
So we're in the middle of putting together a 2027 book?
So 2024 happened, yeah, yes, the next one you see is the 2027.
So are the changes being put together now, getting ready for that, so we don't get 27 and 29?
That's a great question. Usually these code book every time when we do additions, it's usually very minor changes. This time around, it a little bit more significant than the other. I think that was the reason also why it's got delayed. But yeah, the next code book you see, it'll be the 2027 editions.
Yeah, and I agree with President Kang. Why this is, we live in an age of digital technology now, and how is it that we don't have these watch books in an app or digitally available so that it's more readily available? If somebody can answer that, that'd be great.
We have a speaker. Please introduce yourself and then into the mic, please.
Good morning, Commissioner and President. My name is Chu Tam, Senior Structural Engineer from Wastewater Conveyance Engineering Division. May I get your permission to provide more information to your question? So we checked with the manufacturer who print this book. They say currently they only provide hard copy, but we will continue submit the request to see if they can provide electronic copy. We understand that currently the BCA inspector, like they're on the site, they're with their touchpad or computer, so it's being more convenient to do word search and all this. Definitely, we will get back to you guys.
And I'll show you.
And then you're right. I think this year we have a little bit delay, like 2025, and then we adopting the 2024. So the plan for the 2027, we will, once we get a copy of the book, we will compare the changes and process expedite the adoption.
And hopefully it's digital, so you don't have to worry about ordering physical copies.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
President King, we also, sorry to interrupt, but we do also have a presenter from BOE who has indicated that he may have additional information. If you like, I can ask if you would like to unmute.
Sure, sure.
More clarity on just perhaps addressing the responses to the commissioner questions. Edward? And I'm sending him a request to unmute, and I don't see that he is unmuting. Apologies for that. Oh, okay, he's going to rejoin as panelist, so we can put him on screen. Go ahead, Edward. Edward, you'll have to unmute, and if you like, you can turn on your video.
Can you guys hear me?
You'll have to speak a little bit loud, very clearly and loudly into your device. Go
All right,
ahead.
can you guys hear me?
Yes, speak
Can you
really
hear me
loud.
at this point?
We can barely hear you, Edward. Edward?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Edward.
Great, sorry, I apologize. I'm not available to access the forum completely. But yeah, just by way of background, as Mr. Tam indicated, we have had multiple discussions with the publisher in regards to getting the document available in electronic form. Unfortunately, they have been having some challenges financially to allow for that to happen at this time. However, we continue to do that. The Bureau of Engineering and actually other bureaus are part of the APWA Green Book Committee, which is overseen by the same publisher in terms of the meeting itself. And so the discussion to have an electronic version continues to be in the forefront of that discussion. So again, we'll continue to push that forward. So hopefully in the next cycle that will be available. At this time, they don't have actual revisions that we can review at this time. It will probably be available sometime early next year when we can actually start looking at any proposals so that we can bring the 2027 version before you in a timely manner. Hopefully that answers some of the questions that have been raised.
Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments from the board? All right. Seeing none, is there a first and a second?
Second.
First by Commissioner Mitchell, seconded by Commissioner Cardenas.
Thank you, President King. We'll take a roll call vote on approval of item 3, starting with you, President King.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant. Aye. Commissioner Mitchell. Aye. And Commissioner Cardenas?
Aye.
All ayes, and item 3 is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. Mr. Knight, I believe that ends our items for today.
Yes, it does, President Kang.
The next regular meeting of the Board of Public Works will be on Wednesday, March 25th, 2026. The time now is 11:27 a.m. and the regular meeting will conclude and we'll pick it right back up for a quick management meeting. Thank you very much.